people, that is actually impressive.
I mean, like, one thing that I think there isn't enough of in StarCraft 2, like, people often call other people bad. Even if, like, somebody beats me 10-0, it'd be like, oh yeah, he's bad, man. It's like, no, he's not bad. He just beat you 10-0. It's like, but there isn't, like, enough admittance of other players being good, and Marine Lord, without shadow of doubt, is one of the best players in Europe right now. So getting to watch him against Sulky, I'm looking very forward to this match.
Yeah, I'm excited. In the bottom left, so you guys can see, representing TCM, he is Sulky.
British team.
Is it?
British-based, for sure. And this is a French-based team, Millennium.
Yeah.
Marine Lord spawning in top right as a Red Terran. So this is basically like Britain versus France in a way.
Sulky versus Marine Lord is England versus France.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
Unless Marine Lord wins, then it's France versus Korea. But that's how these things work out, Nathan.
I like how Sulky gets to represent your country.
Well, yeah, he plays for a British team. It actually makes total sense. Like, it's not even me bending the rules
You
at
know,
all.
his English alphabetical characters make up his name as well, so I think that's also a really good bolster to your argument. He's opening up pool first, though. He's wary of some cheddar, it would seem.
Very peculiar. So Marine Lord also, like, what?
I think Marine Lord's opening is actually really good versus no? Like,
I think so too. The old school one rat sass expand.
yeah.
I like
His
it a lot.
SCV scout's a bit late, but he should still see Lings coming, and then no to just not have his Marines out there.
Yeah, I mean, like, already a pretty good build win, sort of. Like, not a hardcore win, but certainly a win. So
I'm
Sulky,
happy. Yeah, I'd be happy with this in
Yeah.
a TVZ.
Like, one rat's fast expand kind of fell out the window when you can go Reaper, but this map's incredibly bad for Reaper, and one of the reasons why, you can't enter the base via that back entrance, and even trying to get into the main base, it's an incredibly difficult story. So the fact that Marine Lord's opting to do something totally different here, I really like it. Shows character.
We've seen actually seen quite a few Terran players choosing not to open up with Reaper for most likely that very specific reason. This map's just terrible for it.
Whoa, is this Overlord in a position where... Wow,
Yep.
okay.
He's going to try to hunt it down. That pool first opening, this is one of those moments where, like, you'd think that would help, but he actually didn't make any Lings.
No, he didn't make any links, so Marine Lord
So
playing...
his Overlord is screwed.
Yeah, I mean, Marine Lord was playing incredibly ballsy by sending his Marines out there, but it wasn't ballsy, it was smart, because he sent the SCV out so early, didn't see
Yeah.
any lings,
Oh.
and... I mean,
Close, finish him.
Sulky's making the most out of this Overlord, trying to live for as long as possible by squeezing out drones, but, you know, Marine Lord, that's a nice little victory there. So not only did he get to scout that he was against a pool first, while going one rat's fax expand, got to kill the Overlord too, and, yeah, very nice. By the way, do you know why people do 2 and 2 instead of 3 and 1 when they divide their workers up on the gases?
No, the Muslim enlighten me.
2 workers on gas is actually, like, the most efficient. So having 3 on a gas will be less efficient than having 2 and 2.
I've heard about that. Like the SCV mines something like 40 odd gas a minute, and then the third SCV mines like just 30 or something like that. Rounds it to 100 basically.
Like, if I tried to make it like a cake or a pie, let's say the first 2 SCVs are like 40%, 40%, whereas the third SCV is 20% only.
Yeah.
So when you see Protosses that put 2 on each gas, if you've ever wondered, like, why do they do that? Why don't they just put 3 and 1? Well, it's just more efficient with 2 on each. So smart by
How
Marine Lord.
dare you question these pro gamers and why they make their gases what way?
Hey, I'm just explaining, Nathan. Like, you didn't know that, did you?
I mean,
you kind of had an inkling.
I had an inkling of it. Like I knew that the first
But
two
you
were
never
more
really
efficient.
questioned it. You just went along with it.
Well, yeah, but it just wouldn't. It just I'm one
American
of those.
schooling.
That has nothing to do with it.
Just go along with the
I'm
propaganda.
I'm OCD.
With the crowd.
I'm OCD. Everything has to be even, man. I couldn't have 3 in one and 1 in the other. No, 2-2 is just. It makes more sense. It's all about promoting synergy.
Well, it makes more sense now that you know what's up.
That's so mean. By the way, the winner of this best of 3, Ben, since I know you don't know this, advances
Even though
to
I
the
just
group
heard it.
stage.
Even though I heard it the exact same time that you heard it. But anyhow, in this game, so...
He's building 3 evolution chambers.
3, wow. So is he actually trying to make just a full wall? Okay, so he actually knows he's gone for 3 here. Wow, what's he so he's going 2 base muter while making 3
while getting ready to go Roach Link.
Oh, did he cancel he
canceled one of the evolution chambers.
So he cancelled an Evo, then made a Roach. Do you think that was just a big mistake?
He probably realized he didn't have much use for 3 evolution chambers.
I mean, like,
this is Sulky though, so that is kind of weird.
I mean, it's a pretty big mistake to make when you're going for 2 base Roaches, which he is, to make 3 Evos and not a Roach Warren.
Yeah, for some reason, when you said mutas, that's kind of what I was thinking, and I still don't think that would be bad. But yeah, his Roach speed is. Actually, I think his Roach speed will still line up with the upgrades. So it doesn't really matter, does it?
I mean, it doesn't matter, but
if he ran a bunch of Hellions by, then it matters because he doesn't have Roaches out.
The only thing that I can think of is that he was hoping that his opponent runs Hellions up, sees that there isn't a Roach Warren at the front, but he's actually using.
Okay, but if I saw 3 evolution chambers, I'd just be like, what?
Well,
I guess you could confuse your opponent.
I'd be like, what the shit, too. But, like, okay, did he cancel his cloak there? I believe he cancelled his cloak. So he's gone Cloakless Banshee. Nice, nice, nice.
Those Hellions poked the front as well, doing a bit of flirting with that wall.
Right, so Marine Lord did not force out Engineering Base super fast, so there's not going to be turrets on the field, which is actually going to work for him in this situation. His economy is doing well. He's got way more workers than his opponent. He's making a wall in the back of his base for these rocks as well. So, you know, he's actually handling this map very well. Like, now he sees Roaches on the field.
Yeah, and he's got his Banshee out here just being a nuisance before that 1-1 actually kicks in, or the Roach speed. He's drawing the Queens out, just being annoying as possible. Although, I will say, Sulky always has the option with that lair being done to go into 2-2 and throw up a Hydralisk in and just try to play ball. But I really feel like when you go for the Roach 1-1 opening, you really want to deal some damage to the Terran. That being said, Marine Lord hasn't had to take his 3rd, which is usually the focus of the 1-1 push.
Certainly, yeah. So Marine Lord kills both those Changelings in his base. It's getting ready to take his 3rd now. One thing that is very nice, so he started making a barracks on that tech lab. So he's already getting ready to make Marauders, so he's producing Marauders. He's already got 3 out in the field, it's going to be 4 soon. So, you know, he knows everything that he's up against. The fact that these Roaches are getting around those Hellions without being seen, by the way, this is big. He's going for those back rocks, and he's going for them very, very quickly.
Yeah, the supply depots aren't really going to buy him a whole lot of time. At least they'll be able to spot this coming, which is nice, but Marine Lord needs to react very quickly, and without a bunker, he honestly just doesn't have a lot of bio units yet. His barracks production is all, it's now set up, now it looks good, but he needs another minute to actually crank forces out. And this supply depot wall, spotting him sometime, but that's a lot of Roaches.
That's a ton of Roaches, and now he's good Widowmine hits a good 10 Roaches or so.
Do you think he can actually defend this? The Banshee comes back. Okay, the Banshee's going to put a timer on it, but I think he's going to do a lot of damage before then. He's already pulling SCVs trying to help defend against this.
I mean, the fact that he's not 1-1 against 1-1 Roaches, great concave by Sulky. It looks like Sulky is smashing down a Marine Lord here. Great positioning by Sulky.
Yeah, really important to mention those upgrades to Muslin, like he said. It's just, his units are just trash.
He's smashing Marine Lord right now. I have not seen anybody make Marine Lord look this easy in a long time, and what a simple push, but GG is called.
He absolutely annihilated him.
One thing that we have to mention, Expedition loss is almost a free loss for Terran against Zerg.
I was going to ask you, actually, that was one of the things I wanted to ask you, non-sarcastically, at the start of the game, why Terran wouldn't veto this map against Zerg.
I always veto that
map
against Zerg.
Have you, like, just, you know, not to whine about maps, because I think that this map has some, like, interesting things that happen in, like, PvZ if you don't go, if it's not Swarm hosts. But for TVZ, most of the games I've seen, like, the way that that 4th base is in the corner reminds me a lot of Overgrowth, where, like, to go down there, you have to, like, really overextend yourself to actually reach their 4th once they have it in the corner.
There's just a lot.
And that's not even talking about the back rocks.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bad things. Like, whenever you have a map where Terran has to defend multiple front points, such as that map with the back rocks, getting your whole army, like, putting it out of position, and that was just a simple all-in by Sulky. Like, anybody can do that, realistically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nasty map. But, like, what does Terran veto against Zerg? Well, like, I always veto Expedition Lost, but there are other maps.
You'd veto Expedition Lost. I like to veto Overgrowth because that's his map.
I was about to say, people hate Overgrowth, people hate Inferno Pools, people hate Expedition Lost. But
I think Inferno Pools, like, you can at least do some, like, cheesy stuff as Terran on that map.
I mean, if you get horizontal spawns, it's great, but if you get cross, it's almost a free loss as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's an unfortunate map pool against Zerg. It's like, do you want to play on the gamble? And what do we have next? Catalina. So this is a good Terran map. Like, we're going to see Marine Lord open 3 Reaper, like 11 Rex, 11 Gas. Like, it's the best build on this map by far.
Yeah, I won't argue that. Any chance he opens 2 Barracks?
No.
2 Barracks Reaper?
No.
No.
Gimmicky build.
You're writing it off. You don't believe?
11 Rex, 11 Gas, man. Best build on this map.
It is pretty good on this map.
Best build.
That's pretty good.
Best build, man.
I have to show you my TVZ. You can tell me how bad it is.
I've played against your TVZ with my Z.
God, I've put a lot of...
I think I'm...
if I played you again.
I think our last show match was 3-0
Let's
for me.
do it. Let's just get someone to put some money on this. I'll play you. We'll do a TVZ show match. That'll be the pre-finals for Fragbite.
Pre-finals?
Yeah.
My 3-0 of you.
Oi!
I mean, you got to get ready for this, man. Like, it's hype.
Hey, man.
You got to have confidence in yourself.
I am confident.
If you don't, who else will? Like, not me, because I'm going to own you.
I didn't come here for life coaching. I came here to talk about video games.
Well, we're talking about video games. We're talking about me owning you in them. But anyhow, we have Catalina. So these positions, like, these are pretty decent positions for Sulky.
Do you really think so?
Yeah.
Why is this spawn better for Sulky than the one in the bottom right?
Because if he gets the one in the bottom right... Oh, by the way, 11 Rex, 11 Gas. Called it. Called it.
I didn't say he wouldn't do it. I said it was a good build too.
Yeah,
I do that build on this
I'm
map.
just saying I called it.
Who doesn't? If you don't do that build on this map, you're just weird.
Those guys going 2 Rex Reaper, they're just weird, eh?
Yeah, man.
Maru, you're weird.
Maru's such a weirdo.
You thermal, you weirdo.
Yeah.
But like, the reason that I like it when the Zerg spawns in the bottom right, like, so it's kind of like he spawns after you clockwise, is because pushing their main is so much easier. And you kind of limit them, where does he take his 4th? Because if he spawned in the bottom right, he'd obviously take the 3rd over to the left. But then does he take the 4th way over to the left, which is kind of a nuisance to defend?
Or does he take the 4th, which is really close to the Terran 4th?
Exactly. Like, if he takes the 4th here, it means that you kind of get to defend your main from drops as well, but you're way closer to your opponent, so you don't really want to be there. And then when you take the 4th over to the left... well, your main's very exposed. And also, the bottom right spawn is the worst for Zerg. Or it's the worst for anybody, because the area around it, it's just way bigger for some reason on this spawn only than the other 2 spawns.
You perfectly dissected why that spawn would have been so much worse. So now Sulky starts getting with a massive advantage.
Massive advantage, man.
Well, relative to getting the other spawn,
the bottom left spawn is actually the best spawn for any race, because you can't go around the main at all via air.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just saying, like, why would you make a map with this with such imbalance, with nothing going on in it? You know what I mean?
Well, wasn't that the whole argument, though, when people wanted 3-player maps, was they were like, you can't do a 3-player map like that unless you make it like merry-go-round and just block it off?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. The Reaper's starting to pressure, though, as he did leave one of them at home because these Lings... Dude, every Zerg and their grandma does this now. Like, they have those 6 Lings waiting. Like,
yeah.
It's so rustling.
Luckily, M-Lord is too smart for that deck.
But I think Marine Lord opening up 3 Reaper, if he doesn't actually kill any drones or anything and can't move his second Reaper out,
it's fine.
You really think so?
Yeah, I think.
Wouldn't you rather just open 12 barracks, 2 Reaper?
No.
I'm very interested in like an actual explanation of why.
Okay, so when you go for the 11 Rex gas rather than 12 Rex gas, it means that also your reactor, no matter what, is going to be earlier. When you go like 12 Rex and like just 2 Reapers, you're still going to get your reactor fairly similar time. Yes, your economy is a little bit more shot because you get 1 less SCV when going up to orbital. Ooh, did you not see that? Okay, you did see it. Okay, good. I just think this build works out in every way possible better because you get more gas faster. It means that your options later on are also better. Like, you can choose to go Starport, you can choose to go super greedy with 2 engineering bays and 3 barracks. You can choose to do a lot of things.
Yeah,
it
does go into the 3 CC builds a little bit better too.
It goes into all the builds possibly, whereas 2 Reaper, that's pretty much saying like, hey, Starport's the best build you can do from this.
That's true. Yeah. I don't like going into 3 CCs out of 2 Reaper is pretty awkward.
Right, so like you see he's making his, he's got his 3 CCs going up. He has enough gas and enough, in fact his mineral count's insane. So he had his CC delayed a bit, otherwise he would have Hellions on the way.
People, like oftentimes when I feel like when people like talk about Terran versus Zerg, you get into these awkward situations where no one mentions that command center being delayed supply blocks you really badly. 3 Reapers though, coming in and being annoying, no Zergling speed, no Lings here. He's just putting this queen through a world of pain, but unfortunately not able to get the kill.
Looks like this could be a Roach Bane all in or something.
A similar type of push to the last game. Well, I mean, taking 2 extractors now is going to really delay anything that he would do, don't you think?
Yeah.
Or what do you think? Maybe it's like a 10-minute Roach Bane push?
I mean, the fact that he hasn't taken his 3rd base yet is a bit weird. Like,
Yeah, I'll agree there. Do you think maybe he's just worried about the Reaper? Like now, the Reapers are kind of checking the 3rds, and now he's got the Hellions out, so I don't think he can take a 3rd.
Also, one great thing for 3 Reaper builds is the fact that when you start adding Hellions to this mix, the 3rd Reaper makes the world of difference.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true.
Like, pushing back creep is going to be so easy, but Marine Lord, upon seeing this, he's going to scout. Like, he's going to constantly try and poke in with
Marine Lord
the Reaper.
already stopped building Hellions and went and actually queued up a Marauder very quickly just to make sure that he'd be safe against any type of Roach play.
He cancelled the Marauder, though, and then...
Did he cancel it?
Yeah, he cancelled
Did he?
it.
Does he have a Marauder?
He has a Marauder.
I think that was the Marauder.
Really? He only built one?
Yeah, I think he deleted his Hellions to get the Marauder out.
The Baneling Nest, Nathanius.
Oh boy. Well, the Muslim.
This is cheeky.
We kind of saw this coming a little bit.
Ooh.
The lack of that natural expansion doesn't give a Zerg too many options, especially if they don't rush straight to lair.
I mean, he hasn't seen any Evos at the front, but he's seen these Roaches. He's seen no 3rd being taken. Now he can kind of splinter off one of his Reapers and kind of try and run into the main and see what he can, if he can see anything at all. But ultimately, he's producing bunkers now. Like, the perfect number of bunkers you can get against a Roach Bane all-in is 5. Even though it sounds excessive, you really you hold it off perfectly with 5.
Yeah, well, if you don't die to the Roach Bane all-in, then you're almost always way ahead because you have Stim, your barracks are ready, usually Medivacs are coming out soon. Starport hasn't actually started for Marine Lord yet, but he's going to at least be able to finish the bunkers, and he's got the Marauders, so it'll be tricky, but it's doable.
Certainly is doable. Widowmine's being produced as well now, so he's kept his reactor on the factory while trying to hold this off. Just Marines, Marauders in production. No engineering bays in the back of his base, so it's not as if, like, if he holds this off, he'll be really far ahead. Ooh, just transfer. Quite a few bunkers. In fact, this looks like a half-assed attempt by Sulky, actually, with this...
Yeah, he's taking his
there we
3rd
are.
behind this, but now there's a lot of Banelings. So the Widowmine's up. No, he doesn't even didn't any.
Wow, he saves one Widowmine, pulls it back. Is he going to save that bunker?
Oh, one bunker down. He's going to focus the Marauders too. Really smart choice by Sulky, but there's still 2 more Marauders firing at this army. Quite a few weakened Roaches, but the next wave of Banelings is here.
Very smart to keep re-establishing this wall. Even though it's going to die, that's 5 Banelings that you need to use to try and kill this every time. And also, it slows down the army that much more, so the Widowmine has that much more time to try and focus onto this army.
Yeah.
So here, is that Widowmine going to get shot?
Oh, it still kind of helps to bring down the bunker. And now the Banelings are going to get in on top of potentially these SCVs. And it looks like Sulky just tried again and finally managed to break through into this base. Stim is done, but the key unit, the Marauder, is picked off very quickly. And now you just got Roaches, man. Roaches are good units against this the small weakened force.
Marine Lord got rolled, man. Like, this was very well handled all-in by Sulky.
Sulky just took it to the hole.
He just battered down Marine Lord, and Marine Lord played way too greedy. Didn't get enough bunkers against that all-in at all. Like, he went for 3. You actually need 5 to hold off the Marine or the all-in.
You were saying it. I didn't doubt you for a moment. This is an attack I often die to. This is why a lot of people like those Starport opening. Because the Banshee can buy you a bit of assurance against it.
Well, you know, anticlimactic series here. It's just Sulky kind of mowing over Marine Lord.
Sulky qualifies now for the Fragmite Masters StarCraft 2